Welcome, gents. Just because he's quiet doesn't mean he's empty. Sometimes silence is where the real work happens. The truth is, Sigma males live a double life, but not in a fake or deceptive way. It's about boundaries, not masks. In public, they show only what's necessary. They keep it clean, composed, and often minimal. But in private, that's where their full self exists, layered, driven, and constantly evolving. Most people only ever see the surface, a calm face, quiet presence, and maybe a bit of mystery. What they don't see is the intense thinking, the late-night planning, the emotional self-checks, and the private goals being sharpened every single day. That's not a weakness, it's the design. It's how Sigma males survive in a world that rewards loudness but often ignores depth. You're not broken for being different, you're just playing a long game. One that doesn't need applause at every step. You're not here to fit in, you're here to figure things out, move smart and build something solid beneath the surface. That's what being a Sigma male is about. So if people don't get you, that's okay. If they only see the public version and assume that's all there is, let them. Your real strength isn't in being seen, it's in being steady. And that double life you lead, it's not a weakness, it's your edge. Keep moving in silence. The ones who need to understand you eventually will. In this video, we'll explore the 12 powerful ways Sigma males live this double life, and why it's not a weakness, but a superpower. If this resonates with you, it's because you're already walking this path. And you're not alone. Let's get started, gents. Number 1. In public, they're stoic. In private, they deconstruct everything. When you see a Sigma male out in public, he often looks like a fortress. Quiet, steady, unreadable. He's not the one oversharing or scrambling for attention. He observes more than he speaks. But here's what most people never realize. That same man who looks calm on the outside is constantly working on the inside. In private, Sigma males turn every moment over in their heads like detectives analyzing a case file, that short conversation with a coworker. They'll break it down later, word by word. That strange look someone gave them at the store. They'll replay it and question the intention behind it, not because they're paranoid, but because they care about accuracy, about seeing the full picture. They're wired to make sense of things that others would brush off. While most people reflect occasionally, Sigma males go into full audit mode. They don't just think about what was said, they examine what wasn't said. The silence, the tension, the fake smiles. They can feel when something's off, and they don't let it slide. This habit of deep reflection can be exhausting, but for them, it's necessary. It's how they sharpen their instincts. It's how they protect themselves in a world where people often hide behind masks. In public, they show none of this. Their expression stays neutral. Their body language is controlled. But behind that calm surface is a brain running complex diagnostics in real time. It's not drama, it's data gathering. It's about staying sharp, aware, and in control of their own reactions. So if you ever wondered why a Sigma male seems so calm in public, yet so intense in private, it's because the silence outside is balanced by noise inside. They aren't emotionally cold, they're just busy decoding the world. And in that decoding, they find their edge, their clarity, their power. Number 2, they mentally record interactions for post-analysis. Sigma males don't just experience interactions, they record them. Quietly, automatically. Every word, every change in tone, every awkward pause, even the way someone looked at the floor instead of meeting their eyes. It's all being stored like raw footage from a hidden surveillance camera. And most people have no idea it's happening. They don't just listen to what's being said, they watch how it's said. They catch the flicker of hesitation in your voice, the forced laugh, the too long pause. To others, it may seem like a normal moment. To a Sigma male, it's data. And once the conversation ends and he's alone, the real work begins. This isn't paranoia, it's pattern recognition, it's how they process people. When they're back in their zone, free from the noise and distraction of social settings, they replay those mental recordings in vivid detail. They rewind the conversation, dissecting body language, voice inflections, contradictions, hidden motives. They ask themselves, did they mean what they said? Why did their tone shift when I mentioned that? What weren't they saying out loud? Sigma males are not the type to jump to conclusions, but they are the type to build conclusions, slowly, methodically, based on patterns. They don't just remember what you did, they remember how it made them feel. And they compare it to everything you've done before. That's how they decide if you're real, fake, trustworthy, or someone to quietly avoid. Most people only reflect on conversations when something goes wrong. Sigma males reflect regardless, not because they're insecure, but because their peace depends on understanding what they just walked through. So if you've ever wondered why a Sigma male seems like he knows things without being told, it's because he's watching everything, recording everything, and most importantly, he's not rushing to speak. He waits, he watches, then he decides. That's his edge. That's his armor. Number 3, they're social architects, not social beings. Sigma males don't walk into a room looking to belong. They walk in to study how the room works. While most people are busy trying to fit in, be liked, or make friends, the Sigma male is already mapping the hierarchy, scanning for patterns, and quietly figuring out who's really in control, even if they're not the loudest person in the room. This isn't about being cold or antisocial. It's just that for Sigma males, social environments aren't about bonding, they're about understanding systems. Every group is a structure. Someone leads, someone follows, someone dominates without speaking, someone hides behind jokes. While others look for connection, Sigma males look for leverage points, weak links, unspoken rules, and hidden agendas. They observe the power dynamics, not the small talk. They're not charmed by surface-level friendliness. They're looking for consistency between what people say and what they do. That guy who pretends to be the alpha but can't make eye contact when challenged? Noted. The person everyone dismisses but who speaks with quiet precision? Also noted. It's like watching an architect walk through a building, not to admire the furniture, but to inspect the foundation, the weight distribution, the design flaws. Sigma males do the same thing with social groups. They don't insert themselves to feel accepted. They do it to understand the blueprint, who influences whom, who's faking it, who's real, who's necessary, and who's just noise. This is why Sigma males often seem detached in group settings. It's not that they don't care, it's that they care about different things. They don't crave connection just for the sake of it. They crave clarity. Once they understand the layout, they decide whether to stay, leave, influence, or stay invisible. They're not players in the social game. They're the ones silently building the map while everyone else is too busy performing. And once the map is clear, they move with precision. Number 4, they're publicly adaptable, privately stubborn. On the surface, Sigma males seem easygoing. They can move through different environments, interact with all kinds of people, and handle social situations with quiet skill. They don't cause scenes, they don't make things awkward. In fact, they often come off as highly adaptable, able to read a room, blend in just enough, and keep the peace without losing their cool. But here's the twist. Underneath that flexible exterior is a set of values that are carved in stone. You won't see them pushing their beliefs on others. They're not loud about what they stand for. But make no mistake, those beliefs don't bend. While others may change their opinions to match the crowd, Sigma males stay true to their internal compass. Privately, they've already done the thinking, the questioning, the soul-searching. And once their mind is made up, it's locked in. This quiet stubbornness isn't about pride, it's about clarity. Sigma males don't just believe things because it's trendy or expected. They believe things because they've tested those beliefs against experience, pain, silence, and solitude. They've stripped away the fluff and arrived at something solid. So, while they may nod politely in a room full of people who think differently, don't mistake their calmness for compliance. Internally, they're unmoved. They can sit through nonsense without flinching. They know who they are, and they don't need to prove it or argue about it. This combination, being publicly adaptable but privately stubborn, is what makes them so effective. They can survive almost any setting without losing themselves. They can blend, not because they're weak, but because they choose to. They're not being fake, they're being strategic. Because in a world where everyone's trying to be heard, Sigma males are busy doing something far more powerful, listening, learning, and never losing grip of who they truly are. Number 5, they view people as data until proven otherwise. Sigma males don't take people at face value. They don't assume you are who you say you are. They treat every interaction like an incoming file, something to observe, analyze, and store for later. Trust isn't handed out freely, it's earned through patterns, not promises. In public, they may smile, nod, and carry a conversation, but make no mistake, they're scanning. They're noting how you talk, how you treat others when no one's watching, how your energy shifts when the topic changes. They don't get pulled in by charm, confidence, or high status. Those are just surface variables. What they really care about is consistency, how your words and actions line up over time. Privately, they keep mental folders on everyone. If you're unpredictable, manipulative, or too rehearsed, that goes in the file. If you switch up around different people, that's noted too. Sigma males might not say a word about it, but they're tracking it all, not to judge, but to protect themselves. They've likely been burned before, betrayed by people who smiled to their face but had hidden motives. That's why now they collect data first, trust second. And even then, the trust is quiet. It's not loud declarations or emotional openness. It's subtle, it's earned presence. If a Sigma keeps you in his life, that means you passed the internal audit. This might sound cold, but it's actually a form of wisdom. Sigma males don't cut people off emotionally, they just refuse to operate blindly. They want to know who they're dealing with before they open the deeper doors. Because once they do trust you, it's solid. It's not based on how likable you are, it's based on the fact that you've shown up the same way again and again. In their world, people aren't accepted by default. They're observed, measured, categorized, and only the real ones, the consistent ones, make it through. And number 6, Sigma males underplay their strengths on purpose. You'll rarely catch a Sigma male showing off. Not because he lacks talent, intelligence, or drive, but because he doesn't need to be seen to be strong. In fact, the more capable he is, the less he feels the urge to prove it. While others are busy flexing, he's quietly sharpening, getting better, stronger and smarter without anyone watching. In public, Sigma males often let others take the spotlight. They listen more than they speak. They observe more than they interrupt. This isn't passivity, it's precision. They make space for others to talk, to show themselves, to burn out if they need to. Because Sigma males know the long game isn't about constant display. It's about quiet endurance. They don't get caught in the race for attention. They've seen how temporary applause is. They've watched people build entire identities around being noticed, only to collapse when the attention fades. Sigma males would rather stay in the shadows and master their craft. They're the type to walk into a room knowing they're the most capable one there without saying a word. Behind the scenes, they're relentless. They study, they practice, they build. Not to brag, but because they can't stand being average. And they know that true power grows in silence, where there's no need to explain or perform, when the noise dies down, when others are exhausted from constantly proving themselves. That's when the Sigma steps forward, not with flash, but with precision, not with ego, but with results. They don't need the world to clap, they just need the right moment. Because when it comes, they won't be trying to compete. They'll already be ready. That's the Sigma code. Let others talk. Let others race. You stay in the lab. You train in the dark. Because when it matters most, you'll be the one they never saw coming. Number 7, they can smile without meaning it. Sigma males have cracked the social code. They know that most people don't actually want truth. They want comfort. So, when the moment calls for it, they'll give you the polite smile, the nod of agreement, the casual laugh. But behind that smile, there's no warmth, no emotional agreement, just strategy. To them, a smile is not always about joy. It's a tool, a form of camouflage. It helps them move through conversations without raising red flags. It keeps the peace. It gives people the illusion that everything is normal, but in reality, that smile is often a carefully crafted mask, a silent mirror reflecting exactly what you expect to see. Sigma males don't fake emotions to fit in, they simulate them. They understand the social dance, but they never fully join it. While others are emotionally invested in the moment, a Sigma male is watching, calculating, absorbing. The smile is there to keep the spotlight away, to buy space, to avoid wasting time explaining that he sees through the performance. And this doesn't make him dishonest, it makes him efficient. He knows that not every environment is safe for authenticity. Not every person deserves access to what he's really thinking. So he plays along. Just enough to keep moving without revealing what's behind the curtain. It's not manipulation, it's protection. It's how he shields his true self from unnecessary judgment, conflict, or emotional drain. Because while most people throw their real feelings out like loose change, Sigma males treat their emotional energy like gold. Rare, valuable, and not for public display. So if you see him smiling, don't assume he agrees. Don't assume he's impressed. That smile might just be a mask, politely reflecting your assumptions back at you, while his real thoughts stay locked behind eyes that miss nothing. Number 8, publicly they play along, privately they play above. In public settings, at work, in meetings around crowds, Sigma males blend in. They nod when they're supposed to. They meet the deadlines, they follow the rules just enough to avoid friction. On the surface, they look like they're part of the system. But beneath that calm compliance, they're building something bigger, and they're doing it in silence. Sigma males understand the game, but they're not invested in winning it the way others are. While their co-workers chase promotions and approval, Sigma males are focused on something deeper, something that doesn't come with a title or applause. Privately, they're working on their own blueprint, whether it's a business, a skill, a mindset, or a lifestyle that no one around them even knows exists. They don't broadcast their goals, they don't brag about their side projects. They're not interested in validation from the crowd, because what they're building, it's not for show, it's for freedom. That's the secret. While everyone's competing for the spotlight, Sigma males are using that same energy to quietly elevate themselves beyond the system. And they don't need recognition to stay motivated. The work is its own reward. The progress is personal. The results? You'll only see them when it's too late to catch up. This is why they don't rush to lead the room. They've already outgrown it in private. While others play to win inside the box, Sigma males are designing a whole different game outside of it. You'll never hear them complain about being overlooked because that's part of the plan. Silence gives them cover. Underestimation buys them time. So yes, they might seem ordinary in public, cooperative, even passive, but make no mistake, behind the scenes they're playing at a higher level. And when the time is right, what they've been quietly building will speak louder than any words or titles ever could. Number 9, publicly passive, privately predatory, in ambition. On the surface, Sigma males appear calm, maybe even indifferent. They're not loud about their goals. They don't jump at every opportunity or hustle for attention. To the untrained eye, they seem passive, like they're just going with the flow. But behind closed doors, that's where the real story unfolds. Sigma males are anything but passive when it comes to their ambition. In private, they become surgical, focused, ruthless. They don't just want success, they study it, they plan for it. They move toward it with a kind of silent, relentless hunger that doesn't burn out. They're not running around trying to do everything. They're watching, waiting, striking when it counts. This is what makes them dangerous in a world that's obsessed with noise. While others burn energy trying to look successful, Sigma males are quietly becoming exactly that. Their strategy is simple. Stay low, stay quiet, stay sharp. Don't make noise, make moves. They see ambition like a hunt. You don't rush, you track, you observe, you prepare. And when the moment's right, you don't miss. That's why they don't chase what everyone else is chasing. They've got their eyes on something bigger, and they're willing to wait as long as it takes to claim it. That kind of patience, it's not passive, it's predatory. It's the patience of someone who doesn't just want to win. They want the right win, the kind that lasts, the kind that shifts their entire life. So while the world scrolls, posts, and performs, the Sigma male is sharpening his edge, privately, silently. And when he finally steps forward, people will think it happened overnight, because they never saw what was happening underneath all along. That's not passivity. That's power in disguise. Number 10, they are a ghost in public, but a fire in private. In public, Sigma males can seem almost invisible. They move quietly, avoid the spotlight, and speak only when there's something worth saying. They don't try to dominate conversations or insert themselves where they're not needed. They glide through social settings like a ghost, unbothered, unnoticeable, and perfectly content with it. But once the door closes and the world fades out, everything changes. That quiet exterior, it hides a mind that's on fire. In private, Sigma males are alive. Their thoughts don't idle, they blaze. They're constantly building, writing, designing, analyzing, or tearing apart old ideas to make room for new ones. Their solitude isn't empty, it's fuel. It's where they come to life. This is the part people never see. While the world assumes they're passive or disengaged, Sigma males are deep in creation mode. They're developing ideas, solving problems, and crafting a reality that hasn't even touched the surface yet. And the wild part, they don't need anyone to see it for it to matter. They're not driven by applause, they're driven by vision, something personal, something sacred. And because they don't announce their plans or chase external validation, most people have no clue what they're really capable of. It's a duality that's hard to detect unless you look closely. In the public world, they keep their energy locked down, no distractions, no leakage, but in the private world, it's an inferno of drive, creativity, and purpose. That fire doesn't need an audience, it just needs space, so while others exhaust themselves trying to be seen, Sigma males quietly disappear, then return later with something so refined, so unexpected, that people wonder how it happened. The truth? It didn't happen overnight. It happened in silence. It happened in solitude. It happened while they were busy being a ghost in public and a wildfire behind the scenes. Number 11. The master of controlled exposure Sigma males are masters at giving just enough. Just enough personality to hold a conversation. Just enough emotion to not seem cold. Just enough presence to be remembered but never fully known. What people see in public is like a teaser trailer. Intriguing, mysterious and powerful, but never the full story. And that's by design. They treat their identity like it's a rare currency, not because they're hiding something, but because they know the cost of being fully open. They've learned, through experience, failure and betrayal, that giving too much of yourself to the wrong people is a fast way to get used, misunderstood, or broken. So now they move differently, strategically. In social situations, they know exactly how much of themselves to show. They'll speak when it matters, smile when needed, drop a deep thought that makes people go silent. Then they pull back, gracefully, like it's second nature, because it is second nature. It's not about manipulation, it's about self-preservation and clarity. You'll notice how Sigma males rarely chase attention. That's not their game. They understand that mystery creates value. They figured out that when you give everything away too soon, people stop paying attention. But when you reveal yourself in layers, when you allow people only glimpses of your depth, suddenly the room leans in. People become curious, not because you begged for their interest, but because your silence said more than noise ever could. And this isn't insecurity, it's intelligence, it's emotional discipline. They're not trying to impress everyone, they're looking for alignment. They'd rather connect deeply with one real person than be adored by 1,000 strangers. So if you've ever felt the urge to hold back, to stay silent while others overshare, to protect your energy like it's gold, you're not cold, you're calculated, you're aware, you're not trying to be mysterious. You just understand that not everyone has earned the right to know you, and that's what makes you powerful. Number 12, they let people misunderstand them on purpose. Sigma males have learned a hard truth. Trying to correct everyone's misunderstandings is a losing battle. People will see what they want to see, interpret your actions through their own biases, and build stories that rarely match reality. And honestly, Sigma males couldn't care less if those stories don't line up with who they really are. It's not about arrogance or indifference, it's about energy management. Correcting misconceptions takes effort. And energy is something Sigma males guard fiercely. They'd rather focus on what truly matters, building their life, sharpening their skills, and moving quietly toward their goals, than chasing after other people's opinions. When someone gets the wrong idea about them, they don't jump in to defend or explain. Instead, they accept the misunderstanding as part of their social camouflage. Let people think what they want. Let them fill in the gaps with their assumptions. The truth is often too complex, too nuanced to unpack every time it's misread. This isn't about being passive, it's about choosing battles wisely. Sigma males know that every minute spent convincing someone else is a minute taken away from their own growth. So they wear the cloak of mystery by choice, embracing the idea that being misunderstood can actually be a form of protection, a way to keep people at the right distance. They don't seek validation or approval. They don't crave others' understanding. Their focus is on self-mastery, and if that means being a puzzle others can't solve, so be it. In the end, letting people misunderstand them is a deliberate act of power, a way to keep control over their own narrative without getting dragged into endless debates. It's a quiet rebellion against a world that demands constant explanation, a reminder that sometimes the best response is no response at all. In final words, the loudest voice in the room is rarely the one with the deepest thoughts. That's the truth Sigma males live by. You're not here to be loud. You're not here to put on a show. You're here to understand, to build, to move differently. And that's exactly what makes you a Sigma male. Not some title or trend, but the way you choose to walk through life. Quietly, intentionally, on your own terms. Your double life isn't a mask, it's a strategy. It's how you protect your peace in a noisy world. You give just enough to play the public game, but your real world, that exists behind the curtain, where your vision sharpens, your ideas form, and your strength grows in silence. You don't need everyone to understand you. You're not wired for constant validation. You're wired for truth, depth, and independence. And while most people are sprinting in public, trying to prove something, you're outlasting them in private, brick by brick, move by move. That's not weakness, that's discipline. You're not failing because you're quiet. You're not missing out because you don't fit in. You're simply not meant to follow the herd. You're meant to observe it, learn from it, and then outgrow it on your own timeline. So if you ever doubt your path, remember this. Your silence is not emptiness. It's power. It's preparation. It's the sound of something real being built. Let the world keep guessing. Let them underestimate you, because one day what you've been building in the shadows will speak louder than anything you could have said out loud. Stay grounded. Stay sharp. Your quiet doesn't make you invisible. It makes you unforgettable. Thank you for watching, gents, and God bless you.